That is crazy in this economy. I personally think, why does the size of the diamond matter when you love the person? It's silly to get a car that you can't afford. So what is a micro trend? A micro trend. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Terry Lee. I'm a 24-year-old girl living in New Zealand and I love to share my life with you online. Today's video is a different video. I usually do vlogs, but I thought I'd switch it up and do a sit down video, a more opinion based video. I just want to say there's no hate or shade to anyone who does any of these things I'm going to list in my video. This is just my personal opinion on how I choose to spend my money as a 24-year-old girl in this economy. Everyone has different values, priorities, goals, financial circumstances, so I understand that not everyone's opinion is going to be like mine, but I hope you enjoy me sharing my opinion. The first thing that I will not be spending my money on in this economy is lashes and nails. Girl, you can do it yourself, let me tell you. I used to be one of those girls who would get my nails done every 3 weeks without fail. I did this for years. I started at 16 and stopped last year. I am 6 months sober, guys. I'm proud of myself. It was literally so hard to stop doing my nails. Like, I relied on those acrylics. My nails were so brittle that I felt like I needed them. What started off at $30 a set when I was 16 eventually turned into $80 a set. That is crazy in this economy. Like, that's just an expense you do not need in your life. Eyelashes, I wasn't like really big into eyelashes, eyelash extensions. I would only get them done for special occasions. But even that, like, you don't need them. Just use some glue on ones, you know what I mean? Or mascara is good enough. So I don't know the math. I didn't do the math, but I'll put it here. $80 every 3 weeks makes that much a year. That is crazy. Ridiculous. I now use stick-on nails, which I get for $2 to $5 from Temu and Kmart. I use those for special occasions. They last about a week or two, which is so good for stick-on nails that are literally $5, bro. Like, what? I also just paint my nails right now. My nails are natural. I've been putting jojoba oil, I don't know if I said that right, on my cuticles. A girl at work put me on, and my nails are stronger than ever. So it's time to start your healthy nail journey, girls. Also, I did not enjoy going to get my nails done. Like, it was the most boring 2 hours of my life. I literally just sat in the chair like, can this be over? Literally, I hated it. It was not a fun experience for me. So why did I go through that for how many years since I was 16? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 7 years? Girl, imagine how much of money I could have been saving. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 7 years? I could have been saving money. That's like crazy. We don't want to think about that. That's in the past. What matters is what we're doing now. The next thing I won't be spending my money on is a car I can't afford. Let me explain. I know so many people like who get their license like late teens, early 20s, who decide to buy a car they can't afford. They decide that they want a really nice flash car and get it on a payment plan. I personally think that's such a wild decision at this age. You are literally just starting out. Why do you need a BMW, I don't know, Jeep as your first car? Just be like the rest of us and get a car that will just get you from A to B. When I was 19, I saved up for my first car, which was only $1,300. It was a Suzuki hatchback, and I loved that car. Like, I had no shame in buying a cheap car from the side of the road. It was really cute and it got me where I needed to go, and I wasn't in debt. I didn't have payment plans. I didn't have anything to worry about when it came to my car. I know people who've bought a car on a payment plan and who are in debt because of it. Like, girl, at this age, that's not a good decision. And not only that, like, those payment plans are like half of your paycheck a week. Why would you do that? You're still in uni. As you can see, I personally think it's silly to get a car that you can't afford, especially when cars depreciate in value. Now, I just want to say I understand that not everyone can afford to buy a car cash, and I'm no shade to people who, need to buy a car on a plan. It's just about buying a car that's out of your means, something that is way more than you can afford, and you're going to debt because of it. It's half your paycheck. Like, just buy a car that's 5,000, 10,000 most on a payment plan. One you know you can meet the payments for, or it's not a large sum of your weekly paycheck. I'm not saying I will never buy a car on a payment plan. I probably will in the next year or two just to build credit, but I'm just saying that it's not a sensible decision in this economy to buy a car that's going to put you under financial pressure and you're going to be drowning in debt for. It's not worth it, honey. It's not. Okay, the next thing might be controversial, but remember, it's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to this if you don't want to. So, weddings. Yes, I had a wedding, but I didn't and wouldn't spend thousands of dollars on it. I've seen and heard of so many people spending all their savings or going into debt for basically a one-day party. My wedding cost ten to $12,000, and this included everything from outfits like wedding dress, suit, hair, makeup, photographer, food, furniture, everything you need in a wedding. That was the overall price, which is a lot of money, but in New Zealand, the average wedding costs between $35,000 to $45,000. And I know you all don't have money like that, so that's a lot of money. In America, the average wedding costs 33 USD. That is crazy. That's like 60,000 New Zealand dollars. Americans, are you guys rich? Come share some money. It's a different story if you come from a family that's extremely loaded and willing to give you all that money for a wedding, or you yourself, you're loaded. Like, that's good for you. I wish I was you. I understand that spending all their money on a wedding because you can. But for average people like me, like, why would you go into debt for a one-day celebration? Harry and I are so lucky and extremely thankful that our parents went halves on our wedding. They gave us a budget and we stuck to that budget. If our parents were not in the financial position to give us any contributions towards our wedding, I think we would have not had a wedding at all, or just had like a small party, like a home party, or go out to dinner to celebrate. But we definitely would have not used our savings or gone into debt because we value having a home in the future instead, or traveling the world with that money. It is crazy to go into debt for a one-day celebration. Seriously. Being married to me was more than just the one-day celebration, and I also think starting your marriage in debt or with no savings isn't the best way to start your marriage. Now, since we are on the topic of weddings, let's talk rings. Wedding rings to be specific. I've heard so many girls, countless amount of girls saying, if he loves me, he will spend X amount on a ring, or the ring has to be at least 20K. I've even heard once a girl say the ring has to be his yearly salary. Honey, what? That's just crazy talk to me. Oh, it's just crazy the expectations I hear from women like, yes, you deserve the best, but why is the best material goods? I personally think, why does the size of the diamond matter when you love the person? I totally get it if your husband or whatever, your partner, wife is so wealthy and can afford to buy you the biggest diamond out there. Like, I wish I was you, like, go you. But for most of us, we aren't wealthy like that. We can't afford rings like that. So I think you should get something that you can afford. Like, discuss with your partner what a realistic budget is and go with that, and not go into debt because of it, not spend all of your savings because of it. It's literally just a material good. My wedding ring and wedding band in total was like $1,600. Harry and I discussed our budget beforehand. The ring I actually wanted was way too expensive, and I was like, oh, there will be a time in life that I can get an upgrade, maybe our 10th year wedding anniversary. But right now, as we are in our 20s, starting off our life, it's not a wise decision to spend a lot of money on a ring. I'd rather my husband save his money to buy me a house than a ring. I understand that rings are symbolic and meaningful, but they do not have to be expensive to be special. And with that being said, do not buy her a ring pop though. Like, no ring pops here, no Timu rings. Like, we still have standards, even though we don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a ring, okay? Now, let's talk micro trends and single use outfits. This one I'm guilty of. I've been a victim of. I might still sometimes be a victim of it. Like, look at my scrunchie. It screams micro trend. What is a micro trend? A micro trend is a short lived trend that happens fast, blows up fast on like TikTok, social media, and then disappears like a few weeks later. I used to be a chronic TikTok scroller and would fall victim to all the micro trends like graphic tees, niche accessories, weird shoes, I don't know, just anything that's quite niche, like patterns and all that kind of stuff. But now, since my frontal lobe has been developing, I realized that I was spending money on things that I didn't need just because I liked them on the influencer, but that didn't mean I needed to buy it at all. So yeah, I'm not a micro trend girly anymore. I will only buy something if I really like it, and I won't just be impulsive and purchase it because I see it and I like it, I want it, and I got it. No, I will open up a tab on my phone and think about it for weeks. And if I'm still thinking about it, I will eventually buy it, or I'll just scroll away. Actually, as well, I've deleted TikTok so I don't fall victim to microtrends. I am over it. I do recommend deleting apps if they are making you fall victim to consumerism, microtrends, all that stuff. Now, single use items. Single use items are basically like a dress you'll just buy for one event, an outfit for a concert, for a wedding, something you only buy to wear it once, which is so unsustainable, so unnecessary, a waste of money. I used to do that all the time. But girl, why do you need 20 dresses? Clothes are made to be used more than twice. Honestly, I'm preaching to myself here because I used to honestly be so bad with this. I'm so much better. I'm so proud of how far I've come, right? I don't buy single outfits anymore. I will reuse something I already have, or maybe get a little accessory to make it look different. Or if I really want a new outfit, I will find something secondhand on like Marketplace or Depop, or go to the thrift store and buy something secondhand. Then I don't feel as guilty and it's not as expensive. It's also sustainable. And then you can just wear it for that occasion, that event, and then resell it or keep it to wear it for another occasion. The next thing are books. I love reading. I was so into book talk. I love reading even before book talk, but I was being so influenced to buy all these books that I would read once and put on a shelf and it would collect dust. So I no longer buy books. I have a Kindle and I prefer to just buy books through my Kindle. There's also Kindle Unlimited where you can read books for free. I mean, it's a membership, but it's way cheaper than spending $20 to $30 per book because that's how much books are in New Zealand. Also, there's this thing that I think we forget about. It's called a library. I bet many of us have a library card. We should start using it more. So if I do want a book, I can just head to the library if I want to read a physical book, but I'm quite happy with my Kindle. Yeah, it's just such a smart decision not to spend money on books if you were like me and would read 2 to 3 books a week. That is $60 one pop, girl. Like, expensive hobby to have. Get a Kindle. The last thing we are going to talk about today is designer items. Even if I was rich, I genuinely think I couldn't justify spending $4,000 or more on a designer item like a Gucci bag, I don't know, Prada shoes, whatever people buy that is designer. See, I don't really know because I don't buy designer items, and I don't think I ever will. I think it is wild to spend so much of money, thousands of dollars, on designer items when so many people right now like are struggling financially. Like, why would you spend a month's worth of pay on one item? Maybe pay off your mortgage or save towards a house or go on a holiday. Literally, you could go on a holiday with that money. Crazy. I do own a Prada bag, but it was $30 from the yellow app. I love Coach. Like, I love the brand Coach. Genuinely, I think Coach is so cute. I love their little quirky designs. I'm obsessed with Coach. I do have one Coach bag that was actually only 300 New Zealand dollars. I mean, that is expensive, but if we're comparing it to Prada and Gucci, that is like less than a fraction of the price. And it was a gift from my mum for my birthday. So I didn't buy it. My mum bought it for me. I will not be dropping thousands of dollars on designer items. You are not catching me doing that in this economy, period. I have a funny story. I don't know if it's that funny, but I just thought I'd share my story anyway. When I was in high school, year 9 or 10, I had a friend who, like, she was a bougie little girl. Let's just say that. She wanted a Gucci bag. She got a job at McDonald's and worked for months and saved up to buy a $4,000 Gucci bag. Like, good on her. That's kind of iconic at that age, being 14, 15 years old, to buy yourself a Gucci bag. But was it a good money decision? Like at that age, you could be saving for your first car. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I just want to say I'm not saying I'm perfect. I was literally consumerism final boss. I still fall victim to spending my money on bad things in this economy. I am learning. Financial literacy is something that I am learning as I grow older. I am trying to be smarter and wiser with my money, and I hope that this video has shed some light on things that you could be smarter and wiser with your money too. Does that make sense? You know what I mean. In this economy, I think I just want to be more intentional on how I spend my money and focus more on long term goals than short term satisfaction. Let me know in the comments something you are no longer spending your money on. I love reading comments, so please comment down below. And I just want to say I'm nearly at 900 subscribers, so please subscribe. I never like beg for subscribers, but now that I see that I'm nearly at 900, I'm like, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.